Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Alex Woung here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to teach you guys why ineffective call to actions are a major setback in your cold outreach. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, when you meet somebody interesting at a party, or let's say you're meeting somebody for the first time, do you immediately ask them to be your best friend? Well, of course not. It's like seeing a beautiful girl on the side of the road and saying, "Will you marry me?" To somebody who has no idea who you are, that is a relatively high commitment offer you are giving them. Let's say you're likely to strike up a conversation, find common interests, and then gradually build a connection over time. Now, the way that you're going to do that is exactly the gradual approach that we're going to take to effectively outreach in marketing. So, we are going to go over 5 topics in this document, from what exactly is a call to action, why call to actions matter, understanding the consciousness levels, which is a part of our special approach that we use in Dulce Media called our consciousness commitment communication outreach strategy. And we're also going to understand the commitment levels with people who are willing to take and placing your call to action effectively. So, using these strategies, we help ensure that your call to actions are not only seen, but they are compelling enough to encourage the desired action that you're asking them to do, effectively nurturing the relationship with your audience at each step of the way. So, first up, what is a call to action? Straight from Merriam-Webster herself, it is a noun, an exhortation or stimulus to do something in order to achieve an aim or deal with the problem. Example sentence, he ended his speech with a call to action. Very simple. There's also a marketing definition, an advertising material, a piece of content intended to induce a viewer, reader, or listener to perform a specific action, typically taking the form of an instruction or directive, like buy now or click here. Another example sentence, all spam has some call to action that typically urges the user to visit a website. Now, a call to action is a crucial element in any piece of marketing content, whether it's a landing page, video sales letter, advertisement, email, or any of that sort. The call to action is what directs the reader or viewer on what to do next, preventing them from wondering about their next steps after engaging with your content. Of course, you never want to have an offer or have some type of sales asset where people kind of just read it and they're like, now what? You always kind of want to guide them in the right direction. So whether in any outreach strategy, the effectiveness of your CTA can directly influence the success of your campaign. Now, why do call to actions matter? Well, of course, as I mentioned, it is to guide the audience toward a specific action that you want them to take. This could be booking a consultation, signing up for a newsletter, or making a purchase. And it answers the question of what you want them to do next. And they're more than just a flat out saying. They could be buttons on a page, they could be text, they could be links. And it's a accumulation of your marketing efforts that puts it together. And without a clear CTA, even the most compelling and well-written content can fail to achieve its goal on converting the audience to take the next steps. Now, little dabble into the consciousness strategy that we use. I do have another video going over that on our website. You could check it out. And the consciousness levels are a critical in copywriting and marketing world, as they guide how you should communicate with potential customers. I don't know if there's an official name for it in the industry. This is kind of just what spun off my dome. Depending on their level of consciousness about your product or service, you'll need to tailor your call to action accordingly. For example, imagine you're launching a cold email campaign aimed at new prospects. It wouldn't be appropriate to immediately suggest to purchase an expensive coaching program, since they're not yet familiar with who you are or what you do. However, for a more warmed up audience who knows you, who has been nurtured, such a call to action might be quite effective. In this example, I'm thinking a little bit about Eman Gadji. You know how he just released Digital Launchpad. I think it's like $39, $49 and he almost guarantees you that you're going to go from $0 to $1,000 online. And that's kind of like his entry level course, right? It's a little bit, I mean, it's still a commitment buying in a coaching program, but it's a little bit less commitment because it's not expensive. Then once you get from 0 to 1,000, he has his bigger course, which is, I think, Agency Navigator. And you could take your agency from 1,000 to 10,000, and that's a little bit more money. And levels like that can help you diversify a business into the type of prospects you have. I always like to have the three mediums, like a low type of offer, do it yourself, we'll do it for you, and anything under that range. Now, the 5 levels of consciousness, we have not conscious. These individuals are not even aware that they have a problem that needs addressing. Like, for an example that we're going to use just shortly, let's say I always lose my keys all the time. I get frustrated I lose my keys, but I'm not thinking yet that, okay, maybe there's GPS or trackers or Apple AirTag that I could go get. Now, moving down, we have the problem conscious, and these people recognize that they have a problem, but are unaware of the solutions that exist. So these will be more actually of what I just spoke about, who realize that, okay, I'm really getting over losing my keys. But they're not going to go up on Google saying, how do I stop losing my keys? Now, solution conscious. These people know about the potential solutions, but haven't taken any action yet. Then we have the product conscious, and these prospects are aware of what you offer, but haven't been persuaded to make a purchase. Then at the bottom, we have fully conscious. These are highly informed prospects who understand they have a problem, they understand the solutions that are available, and they know about your specific product, and they just need the final nudge to proceed with the purchase. So going from top down, I like to consider this the coldest at not conscious and most warm at fully conscious, right? Practical approach, we're going to use an example here. So let's consider an example for our lead generation campaign for a client who specializes in e-commerce, email marketing for luxury watch retailers, generating specifically over 100,000 a month. We manage both Facebook and email marketing campaigns for this client. And here's kind of the strategic approach I would put together that we would take. Let's think about problem conscious. Well, the retailers we engage are already prosperous, indicating seasoned experience in e-commerce. If you're making 100K a month, I would safely assume that you know what you're doing. They fully recognize the significance of of email marketing, and are conscious that optimizing their strategies could further enhance their results. Of course, in the business world, almost all the time, you can always do better. So they are aware of that. For product conscious, while these retailers are aware of the benefits that email marketing has for them, they're not yet fully conscious that our prospect-specific services are the solution they need. Then here we're going to promote the service where our objective isn't just to advocate for the effectiveness that cold emailing can do in general, or email marketing that could do in general. Instead, we aim to demonstrate that our clients' tailored approach to email marketing is superior to all the other competition in the market. And this is where your unique mechanism is going to come into play. Now, let's say for this example, we're going to use a personalized Loom video as the asset, which allows prospects to visually and audibly engage with our client, fostering trust and a personal connection. That is one approach to do. Now, there's a couple other, and this includes one of my favorites, which we'll get into in just a sec. First one is buy my service. This is definitely not the most suitable since the retailers aren't fully convinced of my client yet. You don't want to just come in off the bat and be like, buy my service. I think that's just almost a no-brainer. Book a call. It is entirely possible, but it's going to require a little bit more convincing. That would be more at the bottom of this funnel here, where they're fully conscious that they have a problem, they know there's a solution, and they know about your specific product, but just need like a nudge to proceed with the purchase. Then here's one of my favorites. We give a free asset, guide, or audit. And this is the most suitable CTA for this action. It is low commitment option that helps build credibility and effectively showcases my client's expertise that he knows what he is talking about. Now, for the high commitment CTAs, we would use that effectively for the prospects who are fully conscious of the problem, solution, and unique benefits of my client's offer. And for the low commitment CTAs, we'd use that at the earlier stages of consciousness, providing them with valuable insights or tools with minimum initial commitment. Now, let's say I am targeting this company that runs Facebook ads. If we're going to pitch them out the dark saying, hey, your Facebook ads could be doing a lot better, you want to hop on a call and I'll explain to you. The chance of them saying yes is not the best. We could definitely do a lot better. So if I reword that exactly saying, hey, I saw you guys were running Facebook ads. There are several ways that you can improve this to get better results. Would you like for me to send you 5 free tips on how you can, or you want me to send 5 tips on how you can improve your Facebook ads? Now, that falls under this category of the get free asset, guide, and audit. Low commitment, all it takes them is to read a document, and now you could begin the 5 levels of consciousness. I think of them in stages like a funnel. When you reach out to most people cold email, these individuals are not yet aware that they have a problem. Then let's say they're running Facebook ads, they're doing decent, and they don't really know they could do better. So you send them that, and they're like, okay, this is interesting. So now they recognize that they have a problem, but they're unaware of the solutions that exist. Then after you send them that, you tell them a little bit about what you do and how you can help scale businesses, 30% better MMR by optimizing your Facebook ads or whatnot. Then now these people know that there's potential solutions to their problems, but haven't taken any actions yet. Then now they're aware of what you offer by mentioning that, and then you kind of just take them all the way down the cycle until they're aware that they have a problem, they know that there's solutions, and they know that your unique solution is going to help them. Now, commitment levels go hand in hand. This, as I said, kind of falls into my consciousness, commitment, communication, outreach strategy that we use here at Dulce Media. They go very hand in hand. Your consciousness levels measure how aware a person is of their problem and potential solutions, where commitment levels measure how much dedication or effort an offer requires to fulfill. So why did this matter? Because you cannot present a high commitment offer to a low consciousness prospect. Back at the beginning, when I mentioned that if you see a beautiful girl on the side of the road, you're not going to walk up to her and say, will you marry me? Think of it in that aspect. If I'm approaching a company who doesn't even know who I am and I say buy my service, it just doesn't really correlate that well. Now, for example, using that key example, imagine someone frequently misplaces their keys and gets frustrated looking for them. Now, they're unaware that there are smart key finders that could help them locate their keys quickly, like AirTag, there's GPS, keychain holders. These people are problem conscious, low on the consciousness scale. So they know that they have a problem. They know they keep misplacing their keys, but they do not know that a solution exists. Now, imagine if I approach them and offer them a free trial of a smart key finder, like an Apple AirTag type of thing. They're probably going to say, sure, let's give it a try. No tricks up my sleeve, no strings attached. It is a low commitment offer to a low consciousness prospect. Now, on the other side of things, imagine if the same company approached the same prospect, but instead of offering a free trial, they asked if the prospect would sign up for a 3-year subscription plan. The odds are that the prospect will not sign for the 3-year term when they barely recognize they have a problem that needs solving. You're giving a high commitment offer to a low conscious prospect. They're just not going to say yes to that. And why is it important? Because reaching out to any prospect, you need to consider your relationship with them first. Let's refer to the same client before to convey the concept of commitment levels. So if I want to start a campaign, I need to choose the call to action because all of your copy will revolve around that call to action, what you want the person to do, what you're trying to plot in their head to make them think about your service, saying, okay, this could be a potential solution, or highlight this could be a potential problem that I'm having. So here's some options. Subscribe to my service. So if we, as I mentioned before, the 3-year term, out the gates, this is the highest commitment call to action, requiring the prospect to invest money, time, and energy. And nowadays, a lot of people are very busy, not even just business owners. A lot of people are just busy nowadays. and having to exert that time, energy, especially money too, very, very unlikely. Now, meet in person. This is another high commitment call to action requiring the prospect to spend time and energy and possibly money. Like if you go out for lunch, coffee, but still requires the action of getting up and doing stuff. Zoom call. This is a relatively high call to action as well, as a prospect needs to dedicate time and attention onto the call. And people do not like to be sold. Bottom line, they do not like sales calls. So if it's something that can help them and you reword it differently, like we're going to do an outbound audit your business and consult, it works a lot better than trying to just pitch out a sales call. A phone call is a less commitment than a Zoom call, as a prospect doesn't need to dedicate full attention, but it still requires them to spend time. And especially for people who are not so social, don't really want to talk to people, then that makes it a lot harder also. Now, watch a video. This is a lower commitment CTA since it can be done at any time and doesn't require a response, but it does take the duration of a video to consume. You don't want to cold email people like 2-hour long like Loom videos. They're just not going to watch that. A little bit smaller could work. And here's one of my personal favorites, the read a document. This is the lowest commitment call to action since it can be done at any time, at any pace, with minimal effort and without spending money. So I hope it's becoming clear to you guys that when approaching a prospect, you need to consider their current consciousness level to determine the type of commitment offer that you can make them. Now, often our conversion process for clients involve a two-step approach. We start with a low commitment offer, like I mentioned before, a document or video to get them to say yes and engage with the content. And once they consume it, their consciousness level increases as they now know my client or my business, and their willingness to commit also rises. So going back to the 5 levels of consciousness, as I said, it's kind of like a funnel. You start out cold and you eventually want to get them warmer to the bottom of the fully conscious area. And at that point, we are going to pitch them the Zoom call. The prospect is now more comfortable with this higher commitment. And if it's a video, you're going to build trust. You're going to build you're going to become more reputable. And this strategy not only increases your booking rate, but also boosts your show up and closing rates, as now the prospects are much more warmer leads. And strategically placing your call to action, you don't want to be plain Jane. It's essential to remember that people don't buy products or services. They just don't. That's what you may think, but they don't. They buy the results that these products or services deliver. For example, if I bought a gym membership, I'm not going just to have fun, lift weights. I'm most likely going to, to get built, to stay healthy, to have a clear mind. Some people find it peaceful. A couple more examples. No one buys a subscription to an online course for the lessons. They buy it to gain the new skills that are being taught. No one buys a home security system for the fancy equipment. They want to have a peace of mind. And nobody hires a cleaning service just to have someone clean for fun. They're going to hire it to have a spotless home without all the effort of doing it. And the people are driven by the outcomes they desire, not the products or services themselves. In a book that I read called How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins, we talk about people buy with emotions backed by logic. That's just bottom line. Is think of if you're coming in for a new car, right? How much of it is based off logic? Not so much. So if you apply the same principle when writing your call to actions, imagine you're composing a cold email for a business consulting offer. If you just pitch, schedule a business consultation call, I'll be honest with you, I might just fall asleep. But if you have something a little bit more engaging, like want to double your revenue in just 30 days, let's start your success journey today, it's a little bit better. Now, I know these examples are just very off the top of my head. And with more thought, they could become even more compelling once start diving a lot deeper into it. But the key takeaway is to focus on the desired result that your client will get from working with you or working with your client. And since people are interested in results and not products, you have to leverage this in your copy. It's like the SEO example, right? You don't want to build a website just for the fun of it. You want to be reputable. Maybe you're e-commerce. You want to make a lot of sales. So stop offering to book a call and start offering to unlock your business potential or scale your business, anything like that. So hope this concept is clear. And now I know we just went over how to have effective call to actions, but there's a lot more, especially with the cold email world, including crafting the right message, testing different approaches, creating and positioning the offers, the effective call to actions we just went over, understanding your audience's readiness to engage, building and segmenting lead lists, managing your personal brand beyond the first email, and so much more. And you only pay for results on a pay per qualified basis, and we choose to partner with companies we are confident we can deliver results for. So, worst case scenario, you gain invaluable outreach insight. Best case scenario, we drive a significant increase in meetings to your calendar. And pay per qualified, we stand by is they have to show up, have to be a decision maker, they have enough money to work with you, and they're in the industry that you serve. So even if you just want to talk things over, feel free to book a call down below here at the end of the document or in the description of this video, and I'll be more than happy to talk with anything that you would like to talk about. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.